If you're a Falcom fan right now, then life is good. There's a couple ports to look forward to coming this summer, and one highly anticipated RPG coming to PS4 this fall. Recently, Gematsu did an interview with Falcom President Toshihiro Kondo, and he talked about bringing other games to the West, including a pair of games that have never made it over before. So in this video, I'll be breaking down the interview with all the juicy bits, so make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already, and let's get started. Now, I haven't had a chance to mention this on the channel yet, but Cold Steel 4 will be coming to PS4 this fall, and next year it'll be coming to Switch and PC. I've also seen quite a few people ask why the Switch and PC versions aren't coming at the same time as the PS4 version. From what I understand, NAS America is paying for those ports themselves and not working through Falcom. But for folks that like playing on Switch and PC, it's good to know that they're coming. Now, the biggest news to come out of this interview is that Ys 9 is officially confirmed to be coming to the West. When asked about its localization, Kondo said, quote, "Preparations are currently underway for release." Now, it was pretty much a foregone conclusion that we were going to get Ys 9 anyway, but it's nice to hear an official confirmation. Now, the next question is, when are we getting it? Will it be late this year or in early 2021? Now, if I had to make a guess, I would probably say early 2021 with everything that's going on in the world. That might be delaying localization. So I would say look for that early 2021, probably sometime before March, sometime before the fiscal year ends. But if it does come in 2020, then hey, that's a nice surprise. And if NIS America is indeed doing this again, I would also probably look forward to Switch and PC ports since they seem to be doing that with every one of their releases. Now, don't hold me to that, but they've been doing it for every game lately, so I'm guessing that's what they'll do with Ys 9. Now, there are a couple other games mentioned in this interview that were for games that have not made it out to the West yet. Zero and Ao no Kiseki. Now, if you don't know what those games are, those are old PC and PSP games, I believe. Those two games are a series set between Trails in the Sky and Trails of Cold Steel, with characters that kind of cross over to both. Now, those games are getting PS4 releases in Japan, and when asked about that, Kondo said, quote, "I very much regret that we were unable to release Zero and Ao in the West. I think that releasing on PlayStation 4 will lead to an opportunity to release these games in North America and Europe." Now, it's worth mentioning that a fan translation recently released for Trails from Zero for PC. Now, to be clear, this is not a free version of the game with a fan translation included. You need to buy the Japanese version of the game, and then this patch will translate it into English. Now, I find it really fascinating that they're talking about that because these games are super old, and I thought they probably would have forgotten about them by now and they would never bring them over. But it makes sense that now that there's a PS4 version, why not bring them over? My only question now is who would bring them over? You know, XE worked on the Trails in the Sky series and the first two Cold Steel games, so do they hand it off to them? But now that NAS America is handing pretty much all of Falcom's releases, do they put it back with them? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Now, I would expect that those games will probably come out maybe by the end of next year, but it remains to be seen since those games are pretty meaty and probably require a lot of localization. Now, to end the interview, Gematsu asked Kondo if he had any parting words for the Western fans, and he mentioned that 2021 is Falcom's 40th anniversary. Currently, they're working on Hajimari no Kiseki, which is likely to release in 2021 in Japan. If I had to make a guess, who knows when it'll release in the West. And that is sort of a final pin in the cap of this whole Legend of Heroes series, from what I understand. I've seen character portrait art for characters in other games, and now if I'm being totally honest, I don't know a whole lot about the story and all the different characters, but from what it sounds like, it seems to kind of be a fan service game with all the different characters, and there's just one last adventure for them to all go on. Now, considering next year is the 40th anniversary of Falcom, it wouldn't surprise me if we got a few more announcements since they kind of turn games around pretty quickly, but we'll just have to be patient and see. Until then, we have Memories of Celceta to look forward to on PS4 this May, Trails of Cold Steel 3 on Switch this June, and Trails of Cold Steel 4 this fall on PS4. So I'm curious, what do you guys think? What are you most excited for Falcom coming up? Are you excited about these ports? Are you excited about Cold Steel 4? Or now are you excited that Ys 9 is officially coming to the West? Personally, I'm most excited about Ys 9. I really loved Ys 8. It's one of my favorite games on PS4. So I'm really curious to play this game and see all the new abilities and just see how it plays. It looks absolutely awesome. And speaking of Ys 8, if you want to see a really cool speedrun that I did, then check out my speedrun of Ys 8. I've been able to beat the game in under 2 hours. Yes, I'm totally serious. And there are a lot of fun glitches and skips and wild things that I do to get that to happen. So make sure you check out that video if you haven't already. And also make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of my coverage for all the JRPGs in April and beyond. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.